a little white dragon failed its tribulation and fell from the sky, landing right in front of a scholar. The scholar was so frightened that he ran away, but the dragon transformed into its dragon soul and chased after him relentlessly. As the scholar turned around, a sudden white light appeared and the dragon soul possessed his body. When the scholar woke up, he found himself in front of a fortune teller. The fortune teller looked at his palm and muttered, "Your destiny is 1 foot difficult to achieve a yard. You cannot pass the imperial examinations." The scholar got angry, thinking that the fortune teller was talking nonsense, and left. The scholar's name was Shi Xiuyuan. He had been trying to pass the imperial examinations for 10 years but never succeeded. His elderly mother was so frustrated with him that she died from anger. It wasn't that he was stupid, but he liked to meddle in other people's affairs. Every time he encountered an injustice on the way to the capital, he would try to right it, but ended up being beaten up and unable to continue his journey. This led to his failure to pass the examinations every time. Shi Xiuyuan swore that he would succeed this time. As he spoke, a flash of dragon scales appeared on his face, and he set out on his journey again. He also made being a selfish person his motto, but he didn't expect to be knocked down by a little girl on the way. Behind the little girl was a woman in hot pursuit, waving a red ribbon to trap the little girl. Shi Xiuyuan immediately forgot his motto and rushed forward to hug the woman. However, in the next moment, a demonic energy emanated from the girl's hand, and she transformed into a man-eating monster. Shi Xiuyuan was terrified, and before he could react, he was flung away by the monster's tail. The monster broke free and fled in panic, with the woman in hot pursuit. However, she could not catch up to the monster. Suddenly, a burst of white light flashed, and the monster was knocked to the ground. A man flew over and sealed the monster's throat. He wore a tiger hairpin and was the top-ranked monster hunter on the demon catching list. The woman wore a rooster hairpin and was the most useless monster hunter. They were from the same sect, and the woman had to call him senior brother. After the man subdued the monster, he pretended to offer it to his junior sister, San Sheng, but she refused. San Sheng was born with a proud spirit and only wanted to rely on her own abilities to climb the ranks of the demon catching list. At night, Shi Xiuyuan and San Sheng met again. Neither of them was impressed with the other, the old-fashioned and bookish scholar and the inept monster hunter. Although San Sheng was unhappy with Shi Xiuyuan's good intentions, she kindly warned him that the inn they were staying in was suspicious and advised him not to stay there. "I'm not staying here in this desolate mountain. Are you suggesting I stay at your place?" San Sheng couldn't bear to see a weak scholar like Shi Xiuyuan risking his life at the inn, so she followed him there. As soon as they entered, San Sheng was thrilled because the inn was full of monsters. She saw her chance to climb the demon catching list. She then went to their room and began to set up a formation using talismans. First, block the path of heaven's plague. Second, seal the gate of earth's plague. Evil spirits and demons dare not enter for 1,000 years. Let the demons and monsters of the world turn to dust. As the formation was completed, the monsters in the inn could no longer resist and were eager to attack Shi Xiuyuan, the scholar. They rushed upstairs, eager to feast on him. However, Shi Xiuyuan was unsuspecting and was leisurely taking a bath. He was suddenly pulled underwater by a mysterious force. As he looked down, he saw a white dragon under his feet. At the same time, San Sheng's compass began to spin rapidly, and she was about to take action when a force sent the monsters at the door flying. It turned out that Shi Xiuyuan had been possessed by the white dragon. Another monster tried to use its ultimate move to attack Shi Xiuyuan, but he stepped on its foot, causing the monster to scream in pain. Shi Xiuyuan then used a powerful kick to knock it to the ground. The innkeeper saw that all of her subordinates were defeated and rushed forward to deal with Shi Xiuyuan. However, her skills were too weak, and she was knocked out by a single kick from Shi Xiuyuan. Seeing that they were losing, the three monsters quickly fled. At this moment, San Sheng cautiously walked out of the room. As she was confused, her compass suddenly spun rapidly. "So, you're a monster too, and you've been hiding it well." The two immediately began to fight, but San Sheng was no match for Shi Xiuyuan. She could only lead him to her own room where she had set up a barrier. As soon as the formation was activated, countless fireballs were launched at Shi Xiuyuan, but for him, it was only child's play. He easily dodged the attacks and then reached out to grab the basin of foot-washing water, breaking the formation instantly. However, San Sheng suffered a backlash and fell to the ground. Just as Shi Xiuyuan was about to help San Sheng recover, his eyes rolled back, and he regained his senses. Reverting to his weak scholar self, San Sheng quickly subdued Shi Xiuyuan and tied him up. When she took out her compass, there was no trace of demonic energy on Shi Xiuyuan. "Why is there no demonic energy on you now?" asked San Sheng. "I'm just a scholar. How could I have any demonic energy?" replied Shi Xiuyuan. San Sheng was puzzled and asked him to think about what happened yesterday. After thinking for a moment, Shi Xiuyuan realized that he had done nothing other than taking a bath. San Sheng suddenly understood and pushed Shi Xiuyuan into the water. The two souls began to switch places, and the little white dragon returned to Shi Xiuyuan's body. San Sheng now understood that it was a dragon soul possession. "Do you know who I am? I am the little white dragon, the ruler of Qianshan Lake," said the dragon. "I was ambushed while traveling and ended up in this useless body. If it weren't for that, could you have tied me up so easily?" The Jiaolong, I really caught a dragon this time, exclaimed San Sheng, feeling like she had won the lottery. She could now call herself a dragon catcher. However, Shi Xiuyuan and the little white dragon had become one entity. If they killed the dragon, Shi Xiuyuan would also die. The little white dragon said he also didn't want to stay in this useless body. The only way for him to regain his dragon form was to find the LZH, and he could enter the water through it to transform back into a dragon. San Sheng happened to know the whereabouts of the LZH. It was in the headquarters of the demon hunters, the Jinyao Pavilion. The little white dragon was excited and urged San Sheng to take him to find the LZH. But Shi Xiuyuan ran away in the middle of the night because he felt that passing the imperial examination was more important. He was soon ambushed by bandits who rummaged through his belongings and discovered he was just a poor man. They then beat him up badly. "It's your fault for forcing me. Just wait and see," shouted Shi Xiuyuan before jumping into the water. This left everyone confused and wondering if he had lost his mind. They had never seen him so desperate before, but the next moment, a giant white dragon emerged from the water. Shi Xiuyuan had transformed into the little white dragon. In a flash, he appeared behind the bandits and knocked them all down with ease. At this moment, San Sheng's senior brother sensed the demonic energy of the white dragon and immediately launched a barrage of swords at him. Shi Xiuyuan evaded the fatal strikes with ease, but his senior brother was relentless in his pursuit. After all, killing a divine dragon would make him the greatest demon hunter in the world. Without his dragon form, the little white dragon was quickly subdued by the demon hunters. San Sheng arrived just in time to save Shi Xiuyuan. "Senior brother, he was only possessed by the Jiaolong. Killing him would be like killing an innocent member of our own kind." But her senior brother remained indifferent because he had become obsessed with becoming the greatest dragon catcher. Helpless, San Sheng threw a smoke bomb and used it as a distraction to escape with Shi Xiuyuan. They arrived at a cave where San Sheng tended to Shi Xiuyuan's wounds. Feeling guilty, he promised to help her retrieve the LZH, but they needed an emblem from one of the top 10 demon hunters on the demon hunters list to claim it. San Sheng employed her seductive charm and stole the emblem from the 5th-ranked hunter. They then made their way to the Jinyao Pavilion, the headquarters of the demon hunters, where everyone was striving to become the ultimate dragon catcher. Nervously, they arrived at the secret chamber and San Sheng used the emblem to open it. She then used a monkey catching the moon technique to retrieve the LZH. Just as they were about to leave, her senior brother, who had been waiting in the shadows, appeared with a smirk and threw a demon-revealing mirror. Immediately, a giant dragon shadow appeared behind Shi Xiuyuan. The demon hunters were more excited to see the little white dragon than a woman in a bikini. Catching the dragon meant an instant promotion to the rank of dragon catcher. The demon hunters saw the little white dragon as a gift and swarmed around him like hungry wolves. San Sheng tried to explain that he wasn't a demon but a human, but no one listened. They were all focused on becoming the greatest dragon catcher. San Sheng fought alone against the powerful demon hunters, but she was the lowest ranked demon hunter and quickly suffered severe injuries. Seeing this, Shi Xiuyuan stood in front of her and poured water on his face from a flask. Suddenly, the world was turned upside down, and the Jiaolong possessed him again. He was no longer the weak scholar. He moved like a ghost and easily defeated all the demon hunters. "You're all useless demon catchers," he exclaimed. Shi Xiuyuan then took out the LZH and separated his dragon soul from his body. He placed the LZH in the water and the Jiaolong was able to regain its physical form. But suddenly, the water tank exploded, and Shi Xiuyuan was thrown several meters away. It was all part of his senior brother's plot. With the Jiaolong no longer possessing Shi Xiuyuan, he was no match for his senior brother. At a critical moment, San Sheng used her body to block a fatal blow from Shi Xiuyuan's senior brother. Just as he was about to finish them off, their master arrived and knocked him away with one strike. He was just an ordinary human now and there was no need to kill. Their master had long seen through his senior brother's evil intentions. In his quest to become the greatest dragon catcher, he absorbed the essence of demons to improve his cultivation. Their master had hoped to give him a chance to turn over a new leaf, but he had already fallen into madness. Their senior brother was enraged and transformed into an evil dragon. Their master had no choice but to fight him, but due to his old age and their senior brother's constant absorption of demon energy, they were evenly matched. Their Jiaolong's voice came from the LZH, telling Shi Xiuyuan that he had to swallow it and merge with it to defeat the evil dragon. But he could no longer transform back into his dragon form. They would merge into a new being. As their master and senior brother fought, Shi Xiuyuan swallowed the LZH. The little white dragon floated up from the mirror of the void and bid him farewell before merging with him. As a white light flashed, Shi Xiuyuan appeared in front of everyone in white clothing, and the dragon-shaped hairpin of the dragon catcher was revealed. He was the true dragon catcher. "Why are you the dragon catcher and not me?" His senior brother roared and began releasing demonic energy. Shi Xiuyuan began to use Tai Chi, and a golden dragon head appeared. The two huge energies collided, but the evil was eventually suppressed by the good. The golden dragon slowly consumed the darkness, and the evil dragon was overwhelmed and thrown to the ground. Finally, Shi Xiuyuan emerged victorious, and the demon hunter's lodge returned to its former calm. From then on, a new demon hunter joined the ranks. "Are you Shi Xiuyuan or the little white dragon?" "I am neither." "Then who are you?" "I am the dragon catcher."